And fans, we welcome you back to Orlando, Florida. We welcome you back to Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. Coming to you live once again from the Impact Zone, it is the best damn pro wrestling commentator going, Arachnid Soul. Here tonight on tap for you, we've got one-on-one singles action. Two of the more decorated pro wrestlers on modern pro wrestling television and over the past 20 years. Let's lay out.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing the Motor City Machine Guns from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 205 pounds,
Chris Sabin, one of the breakout stars of early NWA TNA, those classic Wednesday night pay-per-views. An individual who's also been successful in Japan, in Ring of Honor, all over the independent scene, but he has his hands full here tonight with a man who many of the fans call Mr. Monday Night, Mr. Thursday Night, but all of the fans call Mr. PPV.
And his opponent from Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing in at 235 pounds, Rob Van Dam.
Now, when we talk about the division that Chris Sabin made famous, the X Division, a division that the Professor Mike Tenay rightfully said is not about weight limits, it's about no limits. We have to talk about people like Rob Van Dam, like Satoru Sayama, like the Lightning Kid, like Jerry Lynn, like Brian Pillman, like Too Cold Scorpio, the men who laid the foundation for what became the X Division. At that point, people like Chris Sabin, AJ Styles, Amazing Red, Low Key, Samoa Joe took that ball and kicked it forward. Here tonight, two of the best pro wrestlers of the past 30 years are set to lock horns. Let's see how it plays out. You hear that opening bell. Nice spin kick there from Rob Van Dam. Follows it up with the standing moonsault press. Referee in position. Van Dam, you see there, as always, in the spray-painted singlet there, the airbrushing. Shoulder block there in the corner from RVD. Back handspring. Sabin sits out in the corner. Van Dam now. Slingshot, guillotine leg drop to the outside. Van Dam coming in. 6 foot, 235 pounds. Lateral press here. Hooks the far leg, did RVD, got a 1 count. Sabin, there you see him in the orange and black. 5'10", 205 pounds. Both of these men know what it is to be X Division champion in this company. Both of these men know what it is to be a Grand Slam champion. RVD now working the legs. A WWE Grand Slam champion, one of the few, meaning that he's held every single singles championship in that company, along with the tag belts. Somersault Senton, cover here. Chris Sabin has done the same in TNA. Chris Sabin has held every single singles championship in TNA that he was eligible for at the time he was there, as well as being a World Tag Team Champion. Sabin's done it on many occasions with tag team partner Alex Shelley. Those two individuals now known as the Motor City Machine Guns, originally known as the Murder City Machine Guns. Both RVD and Sabin fighting out of the great state of Michigan. Van Dam from Battle Creek, where they make all that cereal. Chris Sabin from Hell, Michigan, just outside of Detroit. Acai moonsault that time. Van Dam with the modification, not coming off the rope, coming off the ring apron. RVD trained by the original Sheik, properly pronounced Sheik, Sabu's uncle. Sabu, the best friend of Rob Van Dam, another great innovator in this sport. Chris Sabin trained at Border City under Coach Scott D'Amore. Van Dam has the fans behind him. Corkscrew, guillotine leg drop, no water in the pool that time. Chris Sabin able to get out of dodge. Now pointing to Detroit on his palm. Van Dam wanted the crossbody in, could not get it. Sabin back on offensive, ducks through, spins through, spinning neck breaker that time from Chris Sabin. Sabin over a decade in TNA. 10-time X Division champion. Modified leaping sidekick there. Van Dam executes the move, followed it up with a pin, only got a 2 count. Sabin back to his vertical base, collar and elbow that time. Irish whip reverse. Van Dam hits that turnbuckle hard and goes down. Chris Sabin with the rolling soul butt here. Modified, it came from Japan, aka the 2K1 bomb, into a cover here from Sabin. Only got 2. Chris Sabin, no doubt a future first bid TNA Hall of Famer. When we talk about Sabin's accomplishments, we also have to talk about the fact that he's a former IWGP, that's International Wrestling Grand Prix, as we see the monkey flip from Van Dam, Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion alongside Alex Shelley. Chris Sabin also the winner of a number of Super X Cups and World X Cups. Nice skateboarding style basement dropkick there from Van Dam. Scissor sweep into a cover here from Van Dam. Trademark RVD. And when we talk about accomplishments, when we talk about championships of Van Dam, we have to talk about the fact that he spent 700 days, Bipasso, on that leaping sidekick as the ECW World Television Champion, defeating Bam Bam Bigelow for that belt in 1998, holding it all the time until 2000. It was in a match with Rhino in ECW where RVD, Pat O'Connor roll here. 2 and some change. Sabin reverses it. Van Dam now shoots into a schoolboy. Series of 2 counts. It was RVD defeating Bam Bam Bigelow, but then it was Rhino injuring RVD. RVD forced to relinquish that championship. German suplex that time after the duck of the lariat from Chris Sabin. We also have to talk about those great matches that RVD had with Jerry Lynn in ECW as well as in TNA. Some call this Rolling Thunder. The hardcores know that's called a tumbling senton splash. Van Dam, not 3, not 4, but looking for that 5-star frog splash. Could not get it here tonight. Sabin had it scouted. There's a super kick right on the jaw of Van Dam. Van Dam down, but not out. Van Dam has already been inducted into the ECW Underground Hall of Fame, the Hardcore Hall of Fame. He went in 2022. I mean, other members of that group include Terry Funk, Chris Candido, Van Dam there, messing up a little bit, a rare occasion, but Van Dam back on the assault. Also people like Sabu, Shane Douglas, Two-Cold Scorpio, who we talked about earlier, Taz and Jerry Lynn. Sabin shot off that time to the far corner. Van Dam now picks his man up, drops Sabin forward. This is trademark here. Split-legged moonsault. No one does it better. Sabin cinched up. And Sabin somehow scoots out the back door. Van Dam originally trained in a number of sports, trained in pro wrestling, kickboxing, karate, and Aikido. Started his early pro wrestling career briefly with the Jarretts in the USWA. Van Dam then became Robbie V in World Championship Wrestling before becoming a breakout star for Paul Heyman in Paul Heyman's ECW up there in Philly with the Hardcores. Some people like to call this coast to coast. This is a move that Van Dam uncorked on Scotty Anton a number of years ago on a pay-per-view. Calls it the Van Terminator. A move out of Battle Creek, not out of Greenwich, Connecticut. Van Dam going to go for a cover off of that drop kick. Once again, only got a 2 count. Both of these guys so agile, and to be as agile as both of these guys, there's Aurora Borealis, the Northern Light suplex. 2 and some change. To be as agile as both of these guys, at the same time to have that cardiovascular conditioning, maybe a tribute to Sabu there. Arabian moonsault, Sabin out of the way, Irish whip that time, Van Dam comes back, Sabin drops down, missed with the enziguri did Chris Sabin. Van Dam, for the second time tonight, standing moonsault press, hits the ropes, tumbling senton splash. Rolling Thunder, very similar to that move, but of course that's a tag team move, and it would have Sabu coming over that top rope and dropping the leg. Double underhook here, impact buster, shoots the half into the lateral press, hooks the far leg, does RVD, and only got a 2 count. This match continues here tonight, live from Orlando, live from the Impact Zone. TNA Wrestling, the company that set the standard. The company that started both the evolution and the revolution in women's pro wrestling. Somersault plancha that time over the top by Mr. PPV RVD. This was also the company in AJ Styles that we saw cruiserweights start to be able to compete for and win the World Heavyweight Championship. This was also the company that saw the first ever black NWA World's Heavyweight Champion years ago in Ron the Truth Killings. Van Dam looked for this earlier, could not get it, scores that time. Corkscrew guillotine leg drop on Chris Sabin, who was draped over that steel guardrail. Van Dam sends his opponent back inside. Van Dam up top. 5-star frog splash. Van Dam tops Sabin. And yes, here tonight in Orlando, Florida, Rob Van Dam gets the win. They're asking me if I want to see replays. Here we go, Van Dam, shoulder block into the corner, back handspring. It was so nice, he did it twice. RVD, so innovative. RVD, a man whose style has been so stolen by modern pro wrestlers, many who do not give credit. Inside forearm shiver there. Van Dam off the springboard. Leaping sidekick. When you watch either of these guys, the entirety of their matches are highlights. Sabin, back on the offense here, picked up Van Dam. Rolling soul butt. Standing front chancery, picked his man up, crossed the legs, sat out, modified 2K1 bomb. The referee was in position there, and once again, Van Dam sliding out the back door. Van Dam now, with the scissor sweep, the pinning predicament of his own. Van Dam with eyes in the back of his head, a man who can turn in midair. Leaping sidekick, tumbling senton splash. We saw covers back and forth. We saw high-paced X-Division style action all night in this encounter. Van Dam at one point dropped Chris Sabin, leaped up, and in one fluid motion hit a beautifully executed split-legged moonsault. The referee dropped down and Chris Sabin was able to get out of that, but was not able to dodge the world-famous, one-of-a-kind, 5-star frog splash. Here tonight, live from Orlando, Van Dam gets the win. Fans, thank you for joining me. As always, it has been your host, the best damn pro wrestling announcer going, Arachnid Soul. Like and subscribe on the way out. Thank you, and good night.